I love a good challenge video, and so does YouTube. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. We are going to be continuing the journey of tackling the Armageddon box set. In this one, we're going to take a sizable bite out of the backlog of it, and that is all 20 Ork Boys, which is a kind of 18 Ork Boys and 2 knobs, 2 character models, painted in a single 8-hour sitting. Can I do it? We'll find out in today's video. Before I get into it though, a huge thank you to everyone there who continues to support the channels by watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Subscribe. Do it for me. Please. Awesome. And I know there goes the extra amount of supports over on Patreon. You guys keep the lights on and the cameras roasting. Bottom heart, thank you so much for that. Obviously, we are pushing as hard as we possibly can to give as much back with the Patreon. So you guys get extra videos, you get podcast episodes and private Discord server and monthly giveaways. Last month we gave away an entire Armageddon box set sealed. This month we are going to be giving away, and for the foreseeable future, I think I'm going to move to this format, which is a combat patrol or spearhead of your choice. So if you're interested in that, check out the links down below to Patreon, get involved, and yeah. So without further ado, let me dive in and start the 8-hour timer and try and get these Ork Boys painted up. Okay, so these are the Ork Boys from the Armageddon kit. All of them have been prepped, cleaned, sprayed with a nice bone color or grey, light grey color, ready to begin the painting process. It is technically only 19 because I did do one for a video already, so I basically have a tester. The other 2 models I did for testers, I resprayed those, so they'll just get repainted to match this guy. So this is what they will hopefully all look like at the end of this 8-hour painting session. Now, doing these painting sessions is never fun. They're very long days. Normally when you do like a day of work, you can, stick on an audiobook or watch a few YouTube videos. And if those videos distract you for a little bit, 10, 20 minutes here or there, while you're watching a funny game or something, it's totally fine. On a day where you're against the clock, you can't do any of that. You literally have to lock in and just go. So I listened to pretty much 8 hours of Gaunt's Ghosts yesterday. And it was rough. I really enjoyed the Gaunt's Ghost, but painting the orcs was, like I said, rough. But it does have a really nice payoff, because like getting 20 models completed out of the Armageddon box set in one single day is huge. It's nearly half the entire kind of content. So I really did want to get these orcs done. I was kind of dreading getting to paint them because I'd already painted 40 of them already. So another 20 just wasn't really, wasn't exciting me. So I decided to do the challenge because that'll just push me to just get it out of the way in a single day. And usually people like videos on YouTube where you kill yourself for a small period of time to get as much hobby done as possible. So let's hope that the video does well and you guys like what you see. So as you can see, I started with the metallics. I decided that the metallics was going to be the kind of messiest step, and I think the easiest one to kind of clean up afterwards. So that's what I did. I first of all blocked in all of the brown across the entire, all the metallics with brown across the entire 20 models. And then I started the stippling of the oranges in the 2 different tones that I went for, kind of a mid-tone one and then a highlight one of orange. Brightens it all up and makes it look really, really nice. And then from there, we dry brush all of those metallics with like kind of like a semi-heavy dry brush of silver, which gives it a really nice rust like look. And then from there, we decide on the armor color. So if you, for instance, are looking at this video and you're like, oh, I really like the style, but I want to make it bad moons. Well, cool. When it gets to the stage where I do the red, you do yellow. And then that's it. That's the only difference. The rest of the model is exactly the same. The boots are going to be the same. The pants are going to be the same. The armor is going to be the same. Weapons, eyes, teeth, skin, all the same. Just change that one color to whatever clan you want to do. And then you'll have your 20 orcs from Armageddon painted in a single 8-hour session. That is presuming that I completed these guys in an 8-hour session. Do you think I did? Why don't you put in the comments down below right now. Do you think I completed these 20 Ork Boys in an 8-hour session? I mean, I'm curious to know how many people have confidence in me. And we'll get to the end of that video and find out whether that confidence was misplaced or you know me well. We'll find out. So here I am stippling on that orange color. Started with my fist on, and then we do jump up to Evil Suns to brighten it up a little bit. And you can see how I'm applying it. We're hitting the flatter panels of all that rust. Anywhere where there would be color, which most of it will have been chipped and flaked and damaged, we are stippling on that orange. We're not going for smooth coats. We're not going for anything like that. This is the kind of goal that we're looking for. We do jump up, like I said, to the brighter Evil Sun Scarlet, and we're going inside that rust technique that we've already done inside the red previously, much lighter coat. But once again, that will help make all those details pop and look really, really nice. And then we are going to go back over it once again with a little bit of Lead Belcher dry brush, much lighter than before. We're just going to catch some of those red sections again, just to help them blend into the kind of damaged, worn, torn look of the Ork's equipment and gear. Part of me is screaming by the end of today or tomorrow or whatever to finish off the entire Ork half. I only have the banner, the big boss, and the Gretchen left to do. So it would be really nice to get that big tick through the Ork side of the Armageddon. But I have kind of been going back and forth between units. So now that I've finished 20 Ork Boys, it's probably time for me to bounce back across and do some more of the Space Marines. On the Space Marine side, I have the Jump Chaplain, the Aggressors, and the Vanguard Veterans to do. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm kind of stuck pondering what's the next step for the Armageddon box for me. Obviously, these box sets are something that I really enjoy. Obviously, when the Leviathan box set came out, I actually retrospectively went back and did the Dark Imperium box set. And I just basically went through them all. I just made sure to get all those starter box sets fully done. All the other box sets were done to match my Flesh Tearers army. Whereas obviously the Space Marines from this one are getting redone to match my Imperial Fist army. But I just like completing them because they are such big, kind of chunky, expensive box sets that it's hard to see them added to the pile of grey. And it's also something about, I don't know what it is about it, but for me it's like the psychology. I don't know why it bothers me a little bit more when a box set like this is sold in the hundreds of thousands of copies of it are sold all over the world. And then it's like the really tiny proportion of people that actually buy it paint it all. And I don't know why that just triggers me just a tiny bit. I don't mind it with anything else. I don't mind people jumping between projects. And I don't mind people, starting something and halfway through going, I'd rather be doing that. It's your hobby time. It's not your work time. So if you don't want to paint that thing that's in front of you right now, no problem. Go paint something else or go build something else or go play a game. Totally fine. But for some reason with these box sets, it triggers me. And I would love to push as many people as humanly possible to get their sets done. I thought about doing a challenge with my Patreon or my Discord community to challenge people to everyone post all their completed box sets and really goad each other on. But then that just feels like a little bit of controlling their hobby, and that's not what I'm kind of about. So I decided not to do that. But I really do hope a lot of people dig deep and get really stuck into their sets. Or else understand that, some friends of mine they understand that all they wanted was the Marines in the book. So they've gotten rid of some of their halves instead of just hanging on to them for reasons unknown. Yeah, I don't know. Just food for thought. How many people out there have bought an Armageddon box set? And how many people are on the way to painting the full set? And then how many people out there got it for one half and they're starting that and they have no intention of doing the other half? I'd love to know all those things in the comments. So if you want to share them, please do feel free to do that. Onto Blood Angels Red Contrast. Obviously, we are now blocking in the rest of the kind of colors. We did our Plague Bearer Flesh for the skin. We've done our Basilicanum Grey for the trousers. We're going into Blood Angels Red Contrast for the shirt. And then we go into Black Templar for the kind of belts and boots and straps and stuff that go across the rest of the miniature. Obviously, you can see out of the top of his back banner pole here, he has some decapitated Space Marine heads and helmets, and there's one on his base as well. I don't actually show this on video, but I do go, at some stage I go away and I spend 10-15 minutes painting them up like Imperial Fists. So they will match in with my other half of Armageddon. The two halves will kind of match each other, which I think is kind of cool. So with the black, like I said, I'm going in with boots. I did temporarily think about doing the entire skin now, start to finish, and then worry about the rest of the details later. But once the rust was all out of the way and that really kind of messy coat was done, I decided that I was, the best thing for the psychology of me getting this done is to see the models looking like they're nearly done. So I decided to base coat all the rest of the parts in, which obviously took a lot less time than doing the skin. And from start to finish, and that just made me feel better when you're looking at 20 models on the table and there's no kind of gray color left. Everything has color on it. So if you get stressed at the end of the day and you're like, I don't want to highlight the boots, then don't. They're just boots. Who cares? You know what I mean? But it starts to look really nice. Agro's dunes for the bandages or wraps that exist on some of the model, not all of them. So you do have to kind of play a little bit of Where's Wally and find the ones that have it and fill that in. Like I said, I'm really excited by the Ork Codex. I cannot wait to get my grubby mitts on it. Orcs are going to be my first big new 11th edition army. I finished off my Imperial Fist army for the end of 10th edition. So that'll be 2 kind of stonking new armies ready to be played as many times as I want, as many times I get games organized for 11th edition. So yeah. So here they are as we currently stand. Like I said, I am not cheating in this. I am going through the process. Each one is at exactly the same stage the whole way through. And it's kind of looking really nice. Like I said, they look like a big angry mob of orcs now. And it's looking really, really cool. I'll tell you one more thing that's currently annoying me about the orcs. It's a weird thing, but it's something that bothers me. Games Workshop have just announced in their like podcasting with Adam Troke and Eddie Eccles when they did their Q&A. And they talked about the idea of like kind of getting the correct models for an orc boy unit. And they talked about what you can have. And for every 10 orcs, you can have a knob. And I hate that. A squad of boys should only ever be led by one, the biggest, hardest, baddest. If another orc is big enough to rival him, they will fight and kill each other to the death. They're going against their own kind of established lore and background and story in order to, I don't know, not be bothered making enough models in a kit that you can choose not to have a knob in it. It drives me absolutely insane. I hate it. And it's why I've been like painting these 20 orc boys, being like, well, I guess this is 2 units of 10 because I have 2 knobs. Or do I find another individual orc boy and retire one of these knobs and then just put the orc boy in? I don't know why, but it was like Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar always bothered me with that. For every 10 models in your unit, you can have a banner and a musician and a champion. I'm like, oh, this is a squad of 30. Yeah, there's 3 champions, 3 banners, 3 music. Why would there be 3 of all those things? That's just silly. Okay, rant over. Breathing coming down, heart rate lowering. I'm fine. I'm so annoyed. Okay, so with all the base coats done, and we've obviously put the shade on the skin, we're now going through the motion of layering up all of that skin, and it does take a little bit of time because we use 3 stages of highlight to get that all done. So it did take a couple hours, I'm not going to lie, to get that all done, but I'm happy with the results so far. And then it's just a couple of other base coats left. So we threw a Mechanica Standard Grey across the trousers. We painted in the teeth with bone colors. We put a little bit of red in the eyes. We went around and looking for like trinkets, any like leather belts and things with like a tooth hanging off. We went in and, you know, black contrast the strap and painted up the tooth like a tooth. All of the red jerseys got done with Mechanica Standard, with Mephiston Red, and then a little bit of Evil Sun Scarlet to make that pop and highlight and look really nice. And basically we just closed in on the rest of the smaller details. And before we knew it, we had our finished squad of 20 orc boys. It was a very long day, and I'm gonna kind of jump away now and give you a little bit of like army frontage about what I've gotten on so far with the Armageddon box set, and at that point I will then tell you whether or not I was successful in completing this challenge in the 8-hour period, whether I was under and I am some sort of superhero, whether I was over and I'm an absolute disgrace at a hobby. That will all be revealed in a moment. But even though it did take the day, I was very much happy with the results, and I'm glad that I did do it. So as you can see, the Armageddon set, like I was talking about the whole way through this video, the Marine side, we have the Intercessors, 3 of the characters done, and the Land Speeder. We have the Aggressors still to do, the Vanguard Veterans still to do, and the Jump Chaplain. When we came across to the Orcs, the scene was a little bit pitiful. We did have all of the kind of cool bigger things done, but not the Orc Boys. So that's why we decided to dedicate today's video to just getting those done and seeing if we can get them done in a respectable kind of working day, which is 8 hours. Could I get all 20 Orc Boys done? And I guess you guys are wondering whether I managed to achieve the goal. Well, they are all painted. Let me just get these guys out of the way so you can see them. All 20 Orc Boys are fully painted. I'm very happy with them. I even went ahead and did the Imperial Fist helmets and stuff. Sorry, it's not going to focus because why would I want to focus on what I'm doing? It's even got all the Imperial Fist helmets and stuff done, which obviously match these guys. And if you're wondering if I managed to get it done inside the 8 hours, no. It took me 9 hours, 21 minutes and 39 seconds. So I am an hour and 20 minutes over my allotted time to get these guys done. I paused the counter for things like lunch and any breaks like that I needed to take. So the 9 hours, 21 minutes is actually like full painting time, which is a lot of work to get 20 Ork Boys done. But that does mean that I do have all 60 Ork Boys ready to go for my army, plus a bunch of other bits and pieces, which means I'm fairly ready for the new Ork Codex. The new Ork Codex will drop. I will have a read through, I will write my army list, and I will add the last kind of couple of bits to the force, and I'll be playing with orcs pretty much immediately, which for me is very, very exciting.